Back in 2021, I learned that I am in heart failure due to aortic valve regurgitation. And since my diagnosis, things have gotten, in a word, as a quick recap, aortic valve regurgitation is a condition where the aortic valve in the heart does not close properly, causing blood to flow back, or regurgitate, into the left ventricle instead of moving forward into the aorta and the rest of the body. This condition can be caused by a variety of factors, including congenital abnormalities, age-related wear and tear, infection, connective tissue disorders, or damage resulting from other heart conditions. That last one is probably the culprit for me. My ticker, it's never quite been up to factory standards. So when my heart pumps blood out, a little bit of it flows backward into the heart instead of going forward to the rest of my body. And in order to compensate for this, my heart works overtime to make sure that my body gets the necessary amount of blood flow. But the heart is a muscle, and like any muscle, when it works overtime, it starts to get bigger. And that, my friends, is a big problem because it turns out you really only want a big heart in the metaphorical sense. So the biggest threat to me is aortic dissection. As the aortic valve expands, its tissue starts stretching, and if the tissue stretches itself too thin, it tears. And when that happens, it's bad news bears. So since my diagnosis, we have been trying to slow my heart down with medication and lifestyle changes until open heart surgery becomes medically necessary. And that leads us to today, still waiting for the green light to go under the knife. I would best describe my heart condition as having now gone from a minor annoyance to a legitimate recurring factor. I often find myself burning out during physical exertion way quicker than usual, particularly if I bend over or stand up too fast, whereupon my body basically goes. Other times, I simply won't be able to catch my breath. Things seem fine, I'll be going about my day happy and carefree, and then my heart at random times will decide to just go PAH! There's definitely like a recurring pulling sensation right here that will linger throughout the day, or when lifting heavy objects. Sometimes I will wake up in the middle of the night from disturbing dreams, and my heart will be racing. Since starting medication, I have experienced fun side effects like bloating, weight gain, having to use the bathroom all the time, cold feeling and tingling in fingers and toes, unusual and sudden moments of tiredness and weakness. That's right, kids, if you stick around long enough, you'll earn yourself one of these. There's also this weird thing now where I'll lay down to sleep at the end of the day and I'll just like start crying. It's usually just exhaustion, I think, because I'm no longer medically cleared to lift anything above 20 pounds, and because my heart decides to get tipsy when experiencing elevation shifts, my exercise regimen has become severely limited. Basically just walking. I go for so many walks. It's all I can do. Activities that at one point in time did not appeal to me suddenly have become desirable now that they are no longer allowed. I would like to scuba dive, skydive, regular dive. It is frustrating to wake up some days and think I'm going to get a whole bunch of work done and be super productive, but then 30 minutes into it, I suddenly just start feeling like a total zombie. So, the fix will require my second open heart surgery.
Before your procedure, an IV line will be started in your arm to provide fluids and medications. A catheter will be inserted into your bladder to drain urine. Aortic valve replacements are done under general anesthesia.
Why don't they do the anesthesia first, before the catheter? Hello?
The surgeon then separates the sternum to expose the pericardium. Once the heart-lung machine has taken over, your heart will be temporarily stopped and the blood inside removed.
Definitely no pressure about that. I kind of knew that I was getting in hot water last year when I talked to my cardiologist, and he was like, "Are you planning on having children at some point?" Well, yeah, I mean, eventually. You should do that as soon as possible.
What?
So that's what's going on in my world. Kind of weird. 6.5 million Americans over the age of 20 are in heart failure, so it's not like my case is special. And all things considered, I have had a great life. There were super tough times early on, stuff that I've left in the past where it belongs, but I've got good friends and a loving family, and I have it way better than most people on Earth have or have had. So, whatever happens, happens. I have made peace with the idea of dying. I mean, I'd like to stick around, don't get me wrong. But if it's time for me to go, then it's time for me to go, you know? And so I am just going to focus on spending the rest of my life, however long it may be, being at peace and showing love. And I'll make mistakes, but I mean, everyone does. Algorithmically speaking, I know that YouTube is probably going to serve this video up to folks who are binging other random strangers' life-threatening health issue updates, which I have discovered is a legitimate subgenre. Hi, my name is Austin. I make videos about weird stuff that seems boring at first, but is like actually oddly compelling if you stick around and watch for long enough. Also, I make movies and write books and like produce cartoons now, I guess. I do a lot of things. Some of it might be up your alley, some of it won't be, but you're welcome to check out the channel and see for yourself. That's the health update. I'll let you know if there are any major developments. Special thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. I use them for my own website. It's easy to make your own. You just start by choosing from one of their stunning customizable templates and then shape it to your specific needs. They've got tons of great features that make it easy to share your hard work with others. Like if you're an aspiring podcaster, you can use their Audio Blocks feature. If you want to start an online community of your own, then you can try Member Areas, which offer a gated experience. Or maybe you've got something to sell. You can set up your own online storefront. You can get started today by visiting squarespace.com and starting your free trial. Give it a shot. If you like the experience, and I think you will, then when you're ready to launch your site in full, you can head over to squarespace.com/Austin McConnell to save 10% on your first purchase of a website or domain. YouTube thinks you'll like this video. I think that you're going to like this one, but hey, it's your choice. All right, peace.